Today we're going to be looking at some people who messed around and found out that their actions do have consequences. Disney employee gets fired and banned from Disney World for life.
Guys, you're not going to believe what I just walked into. I can't, listen, I live at Disney, basically. I come here all the time. Listen, I did not know they just leave the doors open like this.
Oh, don't tell me you're going to go for it.
You know what I'm walking into right now. Oh, look at this. It is wide open. Why?
But you're not meant to go in it.
Disney? For me? Thanks. I appreciate it. Look at this. This is where Disney weddings take place.
Okay, but you're not getting a wedding.
In the background, you can see the castle right there. So during the day, you can definitely see it. Wow. They just leave the doors wide open. Wide open.
Trying water from everywhere in Disney Springs. First, the main water fountain. 1 out of 10. The Coke store.
Thank you.
6 out of 10. Another water fountain. 0.5 out of 10. Chicken guy. 5 out of 10. The AMC water fountain.
Why would you do that? Why are you drinking water out of a fountain?
3 out of 10. Paddlefish. 5.5 out of 10. T-Rex Cafe. 7.6 out of 10. Rainforest Cafe. 3 out of 10. Grill a sandwich. 2.6 out of 10. World of
I'm just surprised how he's able to drink that amount of water and not piss himself.
I just got fired by Disney. Let me try to explain what happened very quickly. So I clocked in for my shift. I went to my manager. I said, hey, what am I doing today? He said, actually, I need you to go to the office with me. I said, okay, didn't think anything of it. We go to the office. This guy pulls me in a room. And he says, so, Jason, I hear you have a big following on social media. I immediately knew something was wrong. I said, yeah, sort of.
No issue with that, just what you're doing.
The Walt Disney Company has emailed me and said they do not appreciate what we've been posting, specifically your last 2 videos, and unfortunately, they said you are no longer allowed backstage.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to let you go.
Makes sense.
So I said, okay. I gave my ID, and that was that. Like, obviously, since I got fired, I wish Disney would just ask me to delete the videos instead of firing me. But
you're drinking waters out of fountains.
Just now, your favorite cast member, Jeet, has officially been fired from Disney.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd say that again.
Makes sense.
I just got banned by Disney.
Oh no, you're banned.
I'm very quickly without yelling or crying. So I'm going to Grand Floridian to get food. As soon as I get there, I'm sitting in the parking lot. For 5 minutes, Disney security is circling my car. I'm like, this is sus, but what's the worst that's gonna happen? The worst happened. As soon as I get in the car, Orange County Police Department pulls up. Hi, Jason Jeter. We have a trespass warning for you from Disney. You're no longer allowed on property.
Okay,
then,
yeah.
4 customers, 2 guys in suits, a security guard, and a Disney investigator. I didn't even know those existed. All come up, they're like, hey, we're here to tell you like what's going on, and like fill out paperwork for you. Thank you. I can kind of figure it out. Then they're like, hey, also just to add insult to injury, it's a lifetime ban.
Yeah, makes sense.
I can never go back to Disney.
Good.
Ever.
You're a menace. No need you.
Just to add insult to injury, Disney security then followed me home, just to make sure I really left.
I've never been into Disney, so I don't really get the Disney hype. However, is he really that heartbroken over it? If you work at Disney and you post videos online, I don't think there's an issue with it. If you want to post videos about Disney, I'm sure they're fine. Whenever you're drinking out of fountains and you're going backstage, that's where you start to break the rules. I'm pretty sure Disney doesn't have an issue if you having followings. Probably got to do with the fact that you're posting videos like that. Guaranteed him he signed a contract when he was hired that specifically told him not to do any of the things he did, hence the ban. You're most likely correct, and the issue they fired him and banned him isn't because he was posting videos, it was because of the types of videos he was posting. You know, if you work at Disney and you're like, you know, a dead life at Disney, etc., I'm sure they're fine with that. When you post videos of you going backstage and basically trespassing and drinking dirty water out of water fountain, they're gonna have an issue with it. You don't know how hard it is to care for children. Wait, why don't you care for my children? I'm an a-hole for refusing to babysit my sister's kids after she said I'm not a real parent. I'm 33 male, I'm a single dad to my daughter's 6. We're 1 sentence into this Reddit post and apparently someone said that you're not a real parent, you're a single parent. This shouldn't be about consequences, this should be about stupidity. Her mom passed away shortly after she was born, so I've been raising her on my own for her entire life. It's been hard, but I've done everything I can to provide for her and make sure she's happy and healthy. My sister Claire, who's 35, has 3 kids. 1 boy who's 10 and 2 girls who are 8 and 5, and is married to a great guy. They're both wonderful parents, but they often ask me to babysit their kids because they know I have a lot of experience with my own daughter. I don't mind helping out when I can, but lately it feels like they're asking me more and more, often with little notice. I've had to cancel plans, juggle my own schedule, and rearrange things to accommodate for them. Whenever it comes to babysitting and you have to cancel your plans, it kinda is like opening Pandora's box. When you do it once, they're gonna expect you to do it every time. It's kinda like when you do something for somebody but you really do your best, and then they expect that level every single time you do something for them. A few days ago, Claire called and asked if I could babysit for the weekend because she and her husband wanted to go on a couples retreat. I told her I couldn't because I already made plans with my daughter for a special daddy-daughter weekend. Claire got upset and said that I should be willing to help her out since she has real responsibilities as a mother of 3 and I only have 1 child. Okay, so yet again, Claire is acting like a brat. Honestly, in a situation like that, you should just turn around and say it's your kids, take care of them. You gave birth to them, so they are your responsibility. That comment really hurt me, and I told her that just because I have 1 child doesn't mean my responsibilities are any less important than hers. She brushed it off and said I wouldn't understand what it's like to be a real parent because I've never had to deal with multiple kids or juggle a full household. And by the sounds of it, neither is Claire, considering apparently he's always taking care of her kid. By the sounds of it, the kids are with the uncle more than the mother. I was really offended and told her if she thinks I'm not a real parent, then maybe she shouldn't rely on me so much for childcare. I refused to babysit and now she's furious. She's been texting me non-stop, saying I'm punishing her over a small comment and that I'm being selfish for not helping her when she needs it. Even my mum has chimed in saying I should let it go because Claire has a lot on her plate. But I don't think I should be treated like a free babysitter, especially when she clearly doesn't respect my role as a parent. I'm an a-hole for refusing to babysit after what she said. No, you're not, and also why is Granny getting involved? You know, why can't she take care of the kid? I bet you she's got a few excuses up her sleeve, aka I'm too old. If Claire's so much on her plate, maybe she shouldn't offend the people she wants to ask for favours. Or maybe Claire should just make time. You know, he has to make time for her kids, so why can't she make time for her own kids? And yet again, this goes back to the whole thing of whenever you do something for somebody and give it your all, they expect your all every single time. So don't fall into that trap. Respectfully, because she is your family, but F Claire. Even more upsetting because she knows your situation. I just cannot wrap my head around where she pulled all that audacity from. As a single mom myself, well, I just want to have a few moments with Claire's time to chat. Claire doesn't have time for the kids, so why would she have time for you? And then yet again, why are you saying respectfully F Claire? Take away the respect. You know, in a situation like this, she has been getting on his nerves, so put her in a timeout. You know, whenever people were kids, they'd be put in a timeout if they misbehave. Why can't you put her in a timeout as an adult? It's something I'd suggest you do. Train station Karen realizes there's something called consequences.
She's just pinched a drink.
Who's pinched a drink? Okay, so I think that's the woman who's nicked the drink. So she's a thief. Oh gosh, look at her storming around.
What you doing?
Oh! Oh my god!
What you doing, you big fat cab?
That is
Who
shocking.
you are, you big fat?
Yeah, who does she think she is? Spitting a drink at you as if you're like an animal.
You go to desk, get that at me. You go to desk. Go.
Oh!
What you doing, you
Oh, well, at least the drink's been put in the bin.
big fat? Scruffy little cow.
Get back and eat now, wait, please, sir. Back and eat now.
Oh my god, this is shocking. Like, what's going on with the UK?
She's just pinched and she's just hit a baby.
A
A
baby?
baby. She's hit a baby.
Listen, go back in there. Now. What are you doing?
Oh my god, she's gonna hit you next. Look at her just squaring up.
Don't do this.
Oh! Oh my gosh.
Get her on the floor.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to blur that bit, evidently.
Get it down.
And as you can
Get
see,
it
she
down.
has
Get
been
this.
arrested.
I want her ID. I'm calling the police. Call the police.
That is shocking the way she's acting.
She's been stealing.
Oh!
Call the police. Call the police. Call the police.
Get,
Oh my
can you
gosh.
get that, please?
Yet again, like,
Someone
where
call
are
the
these
police.
people situated? Because, like, I kind of want to watch the drama. But that is shocking that she's going around punching people and punching babies. Well, all I'm going to say for a lady, that behaviour is not very ladylike. That poor security dude, that was a surprisingly hard punch. Something tells me she is a boxer. Like, that was pretty hard smack. I did have to blur it. But she is a complete psycho. She's stealing drinks, she's stealing clothes, she's spitting drinks on people, punching babies and security guards. That was a whole load of dangerous. I cracked up because it looked like when she threw the water bottle at the person filming, they picked it up and quickly threw it in the trash and kept filming. I think that's what they done. But what cracked me up is the fact that, like, she was spitting the drink at them. Have you ever seen videos of elephants where they squirt people in the face with water? Like, she was basically a human water gun. Consequences of the tradwife lifestyle.
I want to start this video by saying that I'm not asking for money and I'm not asking for sympathy. What I'm asking for is, if you are a young 14, 16, 21-year-old girl, listen up. I drove to the grocery store. I need to grab some milk and bread and a couple things, flipped open the bank app on my phone, and I've been sitting in my car crying ever since.
Why?
Because I never have enough money. And why do I never have enough money? Because when I was a 19-year-old girl, I fell in love. My Mormon faith told me that I was supposed to be a stay-at-home mom.
Okay,
I got
so
married. I started
religion
having
is
babies. I
involved?
dropped out of college. I never had a career. My only jobs that I ever had in life were a waitress at the Olive Garden and managing a pretzel maker in a mall. Oh, my first couple years of marriage, I decided that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, so I bought a windshield business. I was 20. And my Mormon stake president reminded me that women weren't supposed to work.
Yep,
So I quit my own business, handed it
It's
over
all
to my
about
husband,
control.
took my name off of it. I would work our family business throughout the next 24 years of my marriage, but I never got paid. I didn't have a salary. My name wasn't on it. I literally worked for room and board.
That is shocking, yeah.
That's it. I would eventually also launch a custom home building company with my uncle as the architect and my friends as the builder, my designs, my realtor.
But you don't get paid.
Again, because my husband was the man. His name was on all of the projects.
And he got the money.
His name was on the business. I remember one of the last custom homes that I built, we sold it and made about a $260,000 profit. That money all went into his bank account. I didn't even have a bank account. I should have said that in the beginning. I never had a bank account. He would give me little envelopes of cash to go grocery shopping with. Anyway, that house sells, the money goes in the bank. I just asked if I could buy myself a piano with the money.
Nope.
I had worked on building that house for 2 years. All of the money went into his bank account. Nothing was under my name. I got a piano and I got a free house to live in.
Oh, so you got the
And I got
piano.
groceries. So I found myself divorced at age 44 just 5 years ago, and within just a few months I was living in my car while he made about $250,000. He would eventually quit that job so that he wouldn't have to pay alimony and child support. He has only paid alimony one time ever in the 5 years since we've been divorced. Once ever. Right after my divorce, I remember being really confident about my ability to get a job, so I put together a resume. I remember one of the first interviews that I had as management position for a windshield company, similar to the one that we had run. And the man actually laughing as he was interviewing me, like he was really sympathetic. He wasn't being a douchebag, but he was laughing.
Why?
And he's like, so let me get this straight. You helped manage your family windshield business with your husband, but you were mostly a stay-at-home mom, and all you did was like the marketing and the hiring, firing, and some of the strategy for the business. But it became really apparent that I needed so many more skills to have any type of management job. I couldn't even like work the basic computers. He told me in the interview, please don't apply for any more jobs like this. You are not qualified at all. You're not
And
capable
it's sad,
of doing
you know,
this
you
unless
should
you go
be.
back to school and get your degree or get some different experience. And so I ended up, my first job after my divorce was $11 an hour, 4 hours a day, working as an assistant to a school teacher in an elementary school. I made $44 a day. For 24 years, I lived in $1 million homes. I vacationed all over the world. I spent my summers in Hawaii. I could buy myself $500 jeans, diamond tennis bracelets. We had boats and RVs and whatever I wanted. And it never bothered me once that my financial security was dependent on that man being in love with me. I never realized that him liking me or not liking me or finding me sexy or attractive or interesting determined whether or not my children could eat, whether or not I could buy myself a jug of milk and a loaf of bread. So I had my 5th surgery in 2 years, 2 weeks ago, and I'm supposed to be in bed resting, and I can't,
You can't
because
afford it.
I worked 7 days a week since my divorce 5 years ago, which is why I'm covered in paint and looking like crap. We actually have a 4-day weekend here in Tucson, and since my partner isn't working, he's working on furniture flip partner projects with me. I have no retirement. I have no savings, no education, no resume. I was almost a straight A student throughout all of my education. I went to college at age 17. I had dreams for my future. I'm working so hard to get myself out of just perpetual side hustle hell. There's not a day that goes by that I don't wonder why. Why I didn't have a backup
Because
plan.
you were manipulated
Why
and not having
my
one.
kids eating and having stability was dependent on a romantic relationship. Why nobody told me to put money in the bank. Why nobody told me don't have babies until you have an education and some experience. Don't have so many kids. I wish somebody had told me to put my name on our vehicle loans and to put my name on our houses. I wish somebody had told me that it's okay to put those babies in daycare for a couple days a week and
get a bit of
go
money.
to college and have a job. And I think I need to do an entire tradwife sequel, because you can be happy and rich and loving your life like Ballerina Farm until the guy walks out. I want you guys to imagine for a minute, even rich Hannah. If Deanna walked out, if all of his financial backing and he had to sell the farm, and then what does she have? Find another rich boy to marry? I just don't want one more woman to DM me, comment, send me their stories, cry to me about how hard it is for them to support their families, and I am so tired of living my own story. We have to make this stop. Raise your daughters to be financially independent. Focus on their futures and educations just as much as you focus on your sons. I wish that someone had done that for me.
I have no issue with people being tradwives. If you want to be a traditional wife, be a traditional wife. However, it can be very, very dangerous. You know, you might find yourself in a situation where you've married a man, you're married for years and years and years. One day you divorce and you're left with nothing. That's why it's so important to have an education or at least a backup plan, you know, savings, work a little bit and then get married and have kids. There's so many situations where girls get married when they're teenagers or 18, 19. Marry a man, have children with him, raise them children, never get a job or an income. They're reliant on that man, and then one day the relationship ends. Now, the man might take care of them, however, you don't know. If your ex-partner does take care of you, you're very, very lucky. A lot of people are in a similar situation to her. They're there to support you and the kids whenever you're together, but the minute you split up, you know that support ends. Word for word, this exact same thing happened with my parents. We lived in luxury until they divorced and abject poverty afterwards. It is devastating, isn't it? You know, so the fact she was married for 24 years, worked basically for free, and then she ended up living in her car. This was always my worst fear, and I'm so grateful I had a strong ass grandma who pushed for all of her girls into science and healthcare. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mum and wife so bad, but today I know I will always have a professional license and work in history. God forbid I have to get divorced again. For women like me, education is freedom. When my marriage turned violent, I walked away and supported our son with no issue. I'm forever grateful. There's no issue with being a stay-at-home mum or wife. You know, if you want to do that, do that. Just have a backup plan. In some relationships, there's a lot of control. You know, the man is the one in control of the finances. He's the one with the power. And you know, if he doesn't like the way the wife is behaving, he can use that power against her in a negative way. No issue against stay-at-home mums or wives. If you want to do that, do that. Just please have a backup plan. And the same goes for men as well. If your wife is the one who's got the money and you don't have money, work part-time, have some savings, because you don't know what'll happen if you guys get a divorce. Well, anyways guys, let's leave that video there. That's some people who face consequences of their actions. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, press the bigger subscribe button. See you all tomorrow for another video.